Hi, and welcome to the ASI Show in New York. Hi, and welcome to the Javits Center in New York City. You're watching ASI Show Update. I'm Dave Agnoni. Day one is Education Day at ASI New York, and we begin with advice from some of the industry's top-selling stars. With that, here's counselor editor Andy Cohen.
Hi, I'm here with Mark Johnson, the president of Embroid Me. Mark, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Now, we just finished up a session on the secrets of top salespeople. And now, Mark, what would you say are one or two traits of great salespeople that you see out there?
Well, I think we talked a little bit about it in the session, goal-oriented, driven type people, a good personality, someone that can sit down and have a conversation with somebody, ask the right questions. And then personally, I always like someone that's got a sense of humor, someone that can have some fun with people. And, being kind of a sports nut myself, I love someone that's competitive in nature. And so those are some of the big things that I look for in a good salesperson.
Right. So you look for people that you may want to be around and that you think can compete?
Yeah, and I think it came out in the session we were talking about. You ask yourself, would you want to have dinner with this person? Is it someone you want to invite over to your house? So you want someone that you can relate with, because, and I think you had said it during the session, because that's what your clients are going to see too. Are they going to want to relate to them?
Right. Your clients have to want to be with that person.
That's right. Yeah. If they enjoy being around them, you'll find that relationship's going to grow and last a lot longer.
Absolutely. Well, Mark, thanks for joining us, and thanks for your time in the session today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
This is Andy Cohen for ASI-TV.
All right, thanks, Andy. Of course, if you want to be a top-selling star, you have to find great leads with that part of the story. And with Education Day speaker Danny Friedman, here is managing editor Joan Chaikin.
Hi, we're here with Danny Friedman, Vice President of Added Incentives. And Danny had a couple sessions this morning, both dealing with strategies. The first was strategies in building your customer base. Now, what's one of the top strategies for that?
Well, one of the things, and it was for new distributors, is that you got to build on positives, meaning everybody wants to have sales. I want sales. Everybody, new, old, wants sales. But when you're new, you shouldn't be focused so much on sales as you should on activity and just positive things that will drive your business and drive your attitude. And a positive thing could be a good conversation, a good meeting with a decision maker, and then you build upon that.
Now, how about price?
The price session, one strategy that I'd like to tell people, I hate discounting, I hate giving away money, but sometimes you have to. Sometimes there's times where you do have to discount, and the one thing I would say is never state a price if you have to do a discount. Put it in the client's hands and ask them, where do you need to be? What price are you thinking of? Because you may invariably give away more money than you needed to give away.
Thanks a lot, Danny.
Okay, thanks, Joan. While day one includes education for distributors at ASI New York, suppliers can learn a thing or two as well. Earlier, I filed this report from the exclusive ASI Supplier Luncheon. Larry Cohen, president of Access Promotions, and Larry, we're talking about what distributors want from suppliers. So what's your top three wish list for 2010?
Probably the biggest thing for us is those three things: reliability, consistency, and creativity. I think if you could sum it all up, do exactly what you tell us you're going to do and make our lives easier, because ultimately at the end of the day, you make or break us day in and day out. So that's what we're really looking for.
Larry Cohen, the Dreamer, thank you very much, and thank you for watching ASI TV. One of the keystones this year of ASI New York is the first ever ASI Women's Summit. Our Nicole Rollander caught up with real estate mogul and keynoter Barbara Corcoran earlier at the Millennium Broadway Hotel. Here's Barbara with Nicole.
Hi, I'm Nicole Rollander, editor of Stitches and director of ASI Education. I'm here with Barbara Corcoran, who just keynoted our first ever Women's Summit in New York City. Barbara, what was the energy like for you?
Oh my God, these girls and women were happy to be here. They couldn't wait to learn something, and they were enjoying each other. Most important.
Yeah, the energy in the room was the thing that really stood out. It was hot,
bouncing off the walls. Let me tell you. And I don't even think they were drinking, were they?
There were a couple cocktails, but I think
that explains a lot.
I want to ask you a couple questions. So you hired about 5,000 salespeople over your 30 years. What was the one quality that you noticed was the top performers shared?
Well, you know, each of these salespeople had enormously different styles, different backgrounds. They specialized in different parts of the city, different price points. So you would think there was nothing in common, and you're right, there was nothing in common. But among the people that really exceeded, their great gift was when they took the rejection from the customer, which is part and parcel of the real estate sales business, they just had the ability to not feel sorry for themselves and get up fast and say, hit me again, I'm a sucker, hit me again. It was that getting up ability that made the difference between the winners and the losers, I found over and over again in my field.
So you really said people who can fail well are the ones who will succeed.
If you can fail well, you get back up and you try again. It's in the trying again that all the success is. It never comes easily if you want to be really exceptional in what you do.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of people in the room kind of nodding when you were saying that. And the other thing that was really cool, and I think this is something people can learn a lot from, how you become an expert, how do you generate publicity for your business overnight if you're the little guy or just starting out?
Well, the good news is the little guy always does a much better job with publicity than the big guy because they have no money. And what you don't need for publicity is cash. So if you've got a lot of cash, you're already big, you got the cash, you're rolling the dough, you really don't need the publicity. God is fair. But if you're a little guy and you can create an idea, some kind of statistical report, which I did my whole life, I thought of the wackiest, most ridiculous things to publish and just mail them to your local media. The media is desperate for statistics, and you know statistics in your field better than anyone else. So if you can churn out a statistical report, you find that you get in the press all the time, and customers believe what the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal says much more than they're going to believe what you say about yourself. And so publicity is the big kahuna when it comes to generating press and building a big brand. No doubt about that.
And you had this great example with lanyards. You said get a bunch of your girlfriends over, ask them all what they like, beaded, not beaded, etc., colors, and then publish that and send it out to the press.
Yeah, I only suggested that. Not that I know anything about this. I didn't even know what you call it. Lanyards, they're called, yeah. But certainly if I was in this business, I would have a report out the first week before I really knew anything how to do the business, because I would want the press writing about me as quickly as I could. And the only way you could really get all the statistics on something like this, because I'm sure there's not a lot of numbers out there, is do a little focus group and analyze what people like best, how many inches they like, what's the right length, and somebody in the press is going to want to write about that, and that puts your brand right on the map.
Phenomenal. Well, thank you so much for sharing your energy with us.
It's such a pleasure to be here. These ladies are goers. They are superstar salespeople. They are going home still hungry. They haven't learned enough, and they're gobbling up what they can here. Great conference, really.
Thank you so much. This is ASI-TV.
All right, thanks, Nicole. Of course, for more coverage from the ASI Women's Summit, be sure to check out today's Counselor Promogram. We continue now with even more highlights from day one at ASI New York, including some tips on website marketing. With that, again, here's our Andy Cohen.
Hi, I'm here with ASI's Dale Denham, who just gave a session on website marketing. Dale, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Dale, what would you say is something that is one of the most overlooked things that people tend to do when they're building their websites?
I think that people often overlook adding customer testimonials to their website, but also the executive biographies, putting in the information on who their salespeople are and people who run the company.
Gotcha. Now, I know one thing you discussed in there was the idea of the importance of Googling yourself. So what's the reason behind that?
Well, a lot of us are vain and we just like to see where we come up in the search results, but it really is actually important, and that's also why the executive biographies are important. In our industry, most people are doing business with us, and so they're not Googling promotional products. They're Googling Dale Denham or Andy Cohen. And so when people go out there and they Google your name, you need to see what's coming up, and you need to be in the top 10 results. If you're not in the top 10 results on Google, there's only a 20% chance people will find you.
Gotcha. So tip of the day, Google yourself, huh?
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Dale.
Thank you.
This is Andy Cohen for ASI-TV.
Thanks, Andy and Dale, and thank you for watching ASI Show Update. Our next update will be on Thursday. Until then, from the Javits Center in New York City, I'm Dave Agnoni. Have a great day.